Welcome all sports fans, YouTubers, Facebookers, all social media across the nation. Uneducated Network on YouTube presents Uneducated Sports Talk. I'm your host, Clayton. Before we get into our big news of the day, if you haven't, please like and subscribe to Uneducated Network on YouTube, to where you see my show, Uneducated Sports Talk, and many other shows on the genre. So that being said, please like and subscribe to Uneducated Network. Now, we had two big games. AFC and the NFC Conference Championships being played. The road to the Super Bowl starts, well, not starts, but it ends on this day to see who goes to the Super Bowl. First off, we had the AFC Championship, the Jacksonville Jaguars, who impressively beat the Pittsburgh Steelers last week, faced against the New England Patriots, who dominated against the Tennessee Titans. And who prevailed? Well, the New England Patriots, as always, as usual. But like I told people on social media and on the show, do not count the Jacksonville Jaguars off. Most people would expect it would probably been still a close game, maybe 2 touchdowns wise. But this game was, everything you could ask for if you were a Jacksonville Jaguars fan, except for you did not get the W. These guys came out and they showed that they belong. With their defense and that running game. They belonged in this game. It was the reason why they beat Pittsburgh twice this year. And it's the reason why they hung very close with the New England Patriots. But as always, it's not about how you start with the Patriots. It's about how you finish. And you have the best finisher in Tom Brady, who notched his 54th career fourth quarter comeback. And that right there is all that you need. Yes, defense versus defense, kind of, together. Special teams versus special teams, yeah, kind of the same. Receivers, edge New England a little bit, but the running game, definitely Jacksonville. But it all comes down to the quarterback. Which quarterback prevails during the crunch time, Blake Bortles or Tom Brady? And of course, Tom Brady is going to win that battle every time. He is the X factor for this team. When they find themselves deep down, and you know what, against Seattle, last year against Atlanta, obviously, these guys come up and they play big-time football. Tom Brady plays big-time football no matter what his supporting cast is, and it showed today. Tom Brady and the New England Patriots defeat the Jacksonville Jaguars 24-20. Hey, give kudos to the Jacksonville Jaguars. They made it a game. After being down 3-0 very early after the first possession, they go and score on a back-to-back possession to go 14-3. They had a chance to kind of maybe put this game away early in the second quarter. It was 3rd and 12 and a big play. 3rd and 12, they got 14 yards and it got called back because of a delay of game. Things like that can change momentum very quick. So instead of being up maybe 17-3 or possibly 21-3, I believe in that position they get nothing. So that right there changes momentum right there. The Patriots get a late score in the second quarter, make it 14-10. So they're down at halftime. After halftime, Jacksonville gets 2 field goals to go 20-10. And with about 9 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, you had a feeling Tom Brady and company were going to get their things together. Tom Brady, 26 for 38, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. And look, Gronkowski, we didn't even mention him because he was hurt in the first half, concussion. I think he'll be back to play for the Super Bowl. You have 2 weeks, so he should be back. But it tells you this team is totally different when there is no Gronkowski on that team. But Tom Brady is still there and Bill Belichick is still there. So those 2 guys make things roll. Josh McDaniels, also coordinator, came up with some huge play calls towards the end. You make Jacksonville kind of hurt themselves. A lot of man-to-man routes they did. So sometimes it's just great to throw to the Brandon Cooks and get a penalty. Jacksonville killed themselves in about 3 of those calls when the Patriots were down and out. They just kind of threw it to the Brandon Cooks and, hoped and wished for a pass interference call. And against the Patriots, you're going to get a lot of those calls. This is what it is, man. But Cooks, speaking of Cooks, Brandon Cooks, 6 catches, 100 yards. What a game from him as well. He stepped up. Amendola, 7 catches, 84 yards, but he had 2 big touchdowns in this game. The running game for the Patriots, non-existent, but they came in with that game plan. They were not trying to run the ball. 46 yards total rushing for the New England Patriots, but they did not care. They wanted to pass the ball on this Jacksonville Jaguars defense. It did not work all the way well because Jacksonville's weakness is the middle running game. So the Patriots, they're the Patriots. They said they want to pass the ball, they're going to pass the ball. it shows you what kind of will they have. Down 20-10 with 9 minutes to go. Who thought the Patriots were coming back? I did, yeah, I did. I mean, it was just like, it was perfect for them. Yes, this Jacksonville defense, and they show that they are all that in the bag of chips. But they're still young, and they're still a little cocky, a lot of man-to-man, so they hold a lot. They're very aggressive. And sometimes, as a Patriot hater, or you understand that sometimes people get a little handsy for pass interferences. And as a Patriot lover, you're like, yeah, they grab a lot, for sure. And it cost them big time on a few possessions. 20-10, the Patriots come roaring back, score 2 late touchdowns to take a 24-20 lead. Jacksonville, with just about 2 minutes to go, had a chance to take the lead. And it was a fourth and something, and out of field goal range. You're not going for field goal anyways. Blake Bortles goes in, and he has a pass, I believe, to D.D. Westbrook. He was semi-open. It could have been lifted up a little higher, but Stephen Gilmore he knocks it down. Hey, the Patriots tried to run the ball out. Jaguars still had a chance with one timeout left, 3rd and I believe 9. They had a chance to get the ball back for one last final hoorah possession, and the Patriots say, you know what, we're going to dare you to beat us, Blake Bortles. They run the ball on 3rd and 8 or 3rd and 9 and get the first down. Game is over with. They were in I formation and everything, so I don't know what the Jacksonville Jaguars are thinking, like, are they going to play action and throw the ball to who on that play? Because there was no one that was, really a receiver in that formation. But the Patriots win the game, and that is all she wrote, man. And they will be representing the AFC once again for the 3rd time in 4 years. This will be Tom Brady's 8th time, I believe, in the Super Bowl. So, hey, maybe he wins 6, one for the other hand, right? But Blake Bortles, that being said, 23 for 36, 293 yards and a touchdown. He played a fabulous game. A lot of the Jacksonville Jaguars game plan on offense was perfect for the first maybe 2.5 quarters. Perfect. You run the ball on 1st down, you play action on 2nd down, you get big yardage. Or on 1st down or 2nd down, you throw the ball, you want to throw it short. 5 to 6 yards every single time. They played it with a great mentality. But as usual, the New England Patriots, that second half performance, they change things up. Bill Belichick goes in there and he modifies what they're doing. And of course, that second half, they dominated. But Leonard Fournette had a touchdown as well, 24 carries, 76 yards in that game. The Jaguars are for real. Maybe not their quarterback, but Blake Bortles has played spectacular a lot this year. Now, he's had a lot of funky games over his first 3-4 years of his career. But this season, more than half of his games he played very well. And now there are some games he just played god-awful. We know that. If the game is in Blake Bortles' hands and he has to win it for you, he's probably not going to win it for you. But he has shown that he's still not elite quarterback, but he belongs in the NFL. So I do like that. But regardless, Jacksonville doesn't have that much to hang their head down. They were the super-duper underdogs in this game. And New England, the favorites, and they show why they are still the favorites as well to win the Super Bowl. But who will their opponent be? Let's find out. You had the Minnesota Vikings off of that miraculous win against New Orleans Saints, face against the Philadelphia Eagles, by the way, the home team, Philadelphia Eagles. A lot of hype surrounding this. Minnesota came in as a big favorite to win this game, just like Atlanta. But this time, I believe the hype in Minnesota after that win against the Saints. You figured they would come in there and with that great #1 overall defense, they would come and dominate the Philadelphia Eagles team that's been sort of struggling on offense the last 3 or 4 weeks. Even the win against Atlanta, they kind of semi-struggled on offense. Well, that offense struggled no more. Philadelphia comes in and put a whopping 38 points on the Minnesota Vikings and win 38-7. Everything you could think of, everything that could go right, did go right for the Philadelphia Eagles. They mollywopped the Minnesota Vikings, and it's funny because the Vikings scored the first 7 points of the game. Their first drive of the game, matter of fact. And you thought, okay, the Vikings are for real. They're going to come in there and they're going to dominate. And then the Philadelphia Eagles scored 38 straight points. It was 24-7 at halftime. Minnesota looked like they did not belong. I was shell-shocked to see how bad Minnesota and that vaunted number one overall defense, and Case Keenum coming in very hot, and they had that miracle win against the Saints, and you're thinking all momentum is riding for Minnesota to have a home game in the Super Bowl. Yeah, you heard me right. A home game in the Super Bowl. That did not happen because Philadelphia Eagles said, hey, come here, guys. Hey. We're still the number one overall seed. That means home field advantage throughout. And guys like me, yes, against Atlanta, I was like, shame on you, odds makers, for putting Atlanta the favorite. But then I was like, well, against Minnesota and New Orleans, those two be the favorite over Philadelphia. So I said, well, Minnesota's definitely the favorite because their defense plays so well. And one thing you always bring is a good defense on the road. That didn't happen in this game. It did not happen at all. The run game was non-effective. They only have probably, I think, 50-something yards. 70 yards total as a team in the running game. Jared McKinnon had a good night for Minnesota. That was pretty much it. Receiving and rushing, 10 carries, 40 yards, 11 receptions, 86 yards. But the night belonged to Nick Foles, the backup quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles. The night belonged to him. 26 out of 33, 352 yards, and 3 touchdowns. People keep forgetting. The reason why Carson Wentz was so successful this year, they have a lot of weapons. Jay Ajayi, 18 carries, 73 yards in this game. Zach Ertz, 8 catches, 93 yards, who show why he's one of the best tight ends in the game. Alshon Jeffrey, 5 catches, 85 yards, and a touchdown. So they have a lot of weapons on this team. The one difference is there's Carson Wentz going down to Nick Foles, who at one point Nick Foles started off his career, I believe, 8-1, 8-2, something like that, with the Philadelphia Eagles. He was hot. At one point, he had 7 touchdowns in the game. Nick Foles has not lost that much. Now, when you go on the bench for so long, and then you get back into that starter mentality, you got to have that kind of mentality. You're a bench player coming as a starter, but you still have that kind of bench mentality. It doesn't make any sense, but once you start having repetition, not only in practice, but of course the game as well. That's 4 or 5 straight games Nick Foles has been a starter. Now he's getting comfortable. He's starting to have that starter's mentality. I am the man. This is my team again. He has that mentality going, and you saw it. Those fans, passionate. I doubted myself as well. Why did I pick Minnesota with their defense? But Philadelphia is still the number one overall seed, playing at home for a chance to go to the Super Bowl. You got to add heart and passion with the talent. They had it on their side. They had their fans that are passionate. Their hearts are big because they want to win for the city of Philadelphia, and of course for themselves. So they have a lot riding for them. They're at home. You got to play that into the account as well. I said Minnesota would win 16-13. I was dead wrong. Minnesota looked like they did not belong in this game. Once it became 21-7, Minnesota isn't really built to come back from that kind of outburst, because they're more of a running game and then do play action in Case Keenum. They're used to having great defense that keeps them in games so they can kind of play their games. They never really got blown out this whole entire season. But this particular game, it was an avalanche from the word go. Once they, Minnesota was up 7-0. Philly gets the ball 3 and out, something like that. Minnesota gets the ball back with all momentum. Then they get a pick six by Patrick Robinson. Wow, funny, former New Orleans Saints. Those guys do good when they leave New Orleans. But Patrick Robinson with the pick six for a touchdown. And that was it. The avalanche was there. Minnesota lost all momentum. It is crazy how it all went down. The Philadelphia Eagles are your NFC champions. They beat the Minnesota Vikings 38-7 in a game that was non-competitive from maybe the first half of the first quarter. Your Super Bowl is here. Super Bowl 52 in Minneapolis, Minnesota will be the New England Patriots, the AFC champions, versus the Philadelphia Eagles, the NFC champions. And it all goes down on next Sunday, not this Sunday coming up, but the Sunday afterwards. I believe February 4th is going to be a great game. Odds makers already have it as the New England Patriots as the 5.5-point favorites. In 2 weeks, it shall fluctuate up and down, but that sounds about right. New England and Philadelphia. It's gonna be a good one, because we all know every time New England plays in the Super Bowl, it's always close. They win close, they lose close. So we all know it's going to be a tight game. if you're an odds maker, I know what I'm doing. Regardless of who I pick, who I think is gonna win, I'm still going with Philadelphia as my betting route because that's where the money's at. But you didn't hear it from me, kids. You didn't hear it from me. Look, they came out and Philadelphia and New England both established who they are in this playoffs. Philadelphia now is a team not to be reckoned with. It's gonna be funny now because you won't be playing at home anymore. You'll be playing in a neutral site against a New England Patriots team that's pretty much does the same thing. They're pretty good. Yeah, last I heard, they're pretty good. I like what New England and Philadelphia is going to bring to the Super Bowl. The storylines are so many. I cannot wait for all of it to unfold, what people say about each other's teams. So it's going to be great to watch that atmosphere going down. I will tell you guys who I pick later on. I don't know who I'm going with yet. I'm still kind of balanced, but I will let you guys know before the Super Bowl is up. We got a lot to talk about when it comes down to the NFL. I mean, 2 weeks of talking Patriots versus the Philadelphia Eagles. It was a rematch of the 2004 Super Bowl. I want to say, I'm bad with numbers, 38 maybe, I believe. No, don't quote me on that. But I want to know how you guys feel about this Super Bowl, New England versus Philadelphia. Who you guys got? Let me know in the comments down below. I want to hear who you rocking with. And what a great season. It was a good year. NFL is always a good year. I mean, this is the one sport where you just never know unless you're Patriots. And you always know the Patriots find a way to get it, either in the AFC Championship or in the Super Bowl. So we all know that. But regardless, this was a great year from start to finish. It was unbelievable. Of course, I had extra motivation. My Saints actually doing good this year. So, but I like where the Super Bowl is coming in. It's fitting. It's Philadelphia, blue collar team versus New England, a team that's been there, done that. So we're gonna see another David versus Goliath.